Welcome back to my garden diaries. My name's Leela. These are my garden diaries. I currently garden and grow primarily cut flowers, hopefully, and vegetables on 1/8 of an acre, but last year I acquired the lot next to me, so I now have 1/4 of an acre to work with, but the lot next door is not yet cleared for working, so that is a project that I will be chipping away at, hopefully this month, making big progress. But I'm also doing a lot of different little experiments in my garden. I come from like a STEM background in college, so I just love experimenting and trying new things. I've been digging into tulips a lot, and one of the things I want to play around with is being able to either multiply the tulips that I have now or find a way to use them for cut flowers but also still save the bulbs. If you don't know, when you're growing tulips for cut flowers, they're grown as an annual and not as a perennial. So the bulbs are often cut and thrown away, but I want to try and play around with things and see if I can find a different way. The first pot that I potted up was actually bulblets or baby bulbs that were attached to these salmon impression tulip bulbs. These are some bigger ones that just looked a little funky, so I wasn't really sure about them. So I put them in their own little pot and we'll see what they do. But the little bulblets should take a few years and then they will be big bulbs. So we'll see if they survive the next few years, if I don't completely forget about them. I've made tags to put in the pots so I don't forget. This is Lady. She's my garden companion. I have a funny story about her that I'll probably share soon because about a year ago, she gave birth to kittens. So in a lot of my videos, it seems like I have a lot of cats. And that's because they all came from this one mama kitty. On the border of my garden is the one and only place in my original backyard, not including the lot next door, that actually had plants that seemed like they were put there at some point on purpose. Fun fact about me, I love spiders. I'm obsessed with jumping spiders in particular, and there are these green spiders. I bet you've never seen a green spider. But this is a green jumping spider. I think they're so gorgeous and beautiful, and it's such a fun surprise when I find them. But I have these border areas of my garden that have these plants that pop up every spring. And so I've been trying to fight back the ivy. My mom did a great job last year fighting back the ivy. And this year I want to just make sure I stay on top of it. So it's just a small little task that I just had to do. And it only took a few seconds, but I've been putting it off for forever. So hopefully this year, this area will get some fresh mulch and the ivy won't take over it again. I also have in 3 pots, 1 in a terracotta pot and then 2 in like just nursery container pots. The Sun King, I'm not sure the exact name, I'll put it up, but I absolutely love Klaus Dalby on YouTube and Instagram. And he loves his chartreuse foliage, and so do I. I love chartreuse. I think it's such a beautiful, bright, poppy color that goes with every season. Like, I kid you not, I think that bright yellow-green goes with every single color palette. But this is one that I've actually had for a while. This was the first root that I got, the first plant that I got, and I did not know that they needed full shade, and I thought I had killed this plant. But then it came back. Like, I kept it in the pot, and I was like, let's just wait and see. I moved it to a shady area, not on purpose. Like, I just moved it to the shade because it was out of the way, and it started growing. And then I realized it needed full shade, and I was like, you're going to sit right here and recover from the torture I put you through last year. And so I decided to make a little hedge of them behind this little wattle fence that I made. Yeah, we'll see what they look like. I think it'll be fun to have like the bright green popping up out of the little natural fence that I've made. Please leave. Please move. Please move. Nope, don't roll there. Hey, excuse me. Okay. We have a few days left of some pretty unseasonably, or maybe seasonably, I don't know. Today was a high of 65 degrees, which I think I did my calculations right. That's like 15 to 18 degrees Celsius. So it's warm today. Like, it feels like spring, even though my weather app currently says we might get snow next week. Things are just all over the place. I think this is just how things are going to be for here on out. I didn't grow up in this area where I'm currently living, so I'm not entirely used to it, but this is not normal. This is not what I grew up with at all. So just rolling with the punches. And I think some of these cold hardy seeds and whatnots might be able to germinate while we're getting this warm weather, and then they should be all right with colder weather after. If not, it's all right. I'll just sow them again. But I just needed today to get my hands in the dirt. I needed to start some seeds. I need that hope for the future and something to look forward to, because I'm not gonna lie, things are just, life is lifing right now. It is really feeling honestly overwhelming, not just like everything going on in the world, but everything personally also. And there are just these little tiny garden tasks that there are so many of them. It can feel so overwhelming. And I knew that I just needed to get out, tick some things off the never-ending list in my brain of things that need to get done in the garden. I wanted to start these seeds last week, but here we are starting them this week. So, if they don't grow, that's all right. But I did it. I checked it off the list. I also have some calendula seeds. I'm really trying to be good about using up the seeds that I have. I just sowed a bunch of spinach seeds that I've had for 3 years. I'm not joking. If they don't come up, they don't come up. But I just keep hanging on to the packet, but I keep not planting them out. So we tried some spinach, and I have this calendula that is going on its, I think, 2nd or 3rd year. And we're just going to pop them in my little reject tulip bed. That's where we are. And I'm starting to see signs of life. Some of these tulips that I put in here were pre-chilled. In case you missed it, I had a video called We Need to Talk Tulips. So I took out all my tulips. I sorted through them. I figured out which ones I wanted to keep. I tallied them up. And then the ones that looked a little iffy, because I'm not a tulip expert, the ones that looked like they had too much mold or were squishy, I put them in this one bed that I never planned to put tulips in. And yeah, so that's my reject tulip bed. Some of them were pre-chilled, some of them were not pre-chilled. The not pre-chilled ones had been chilling, so it's just a whole mixture of a bunch of different things, late blooming, early blooming. We'll see what comes up, and whatever does come up, I'll mark it, and then I'll also try to divide them and multiply them and make more tulip bulbs. In, I think, one of my last videos, I showed my sweet peas, and I planted some of them in a crate. I just thought having the ability to move them to different areas of the garden would be really good. I know that the area that I'm planting them in now in the ground gets full sun, and I made this little trellis also in a previous video, and so I'm just planting them. I think this is maybe about a month earlier than I planted them last year. I think with my zone, all cool weather things, all the things that like the cold, need to go in the fall, but better late than never. Better safe than sorry, better in the ground than in a seed packet in my house. So we're gonna try them and see how they go. Each little seed got some mycorrhiza in with the little hole, and then also some plant food. And I have this random dahlia that has popped up. I also posted a video about my little dahlia experiment. I started a bunch from seed. I started waking up the tubers, and I have this random seed that popped up with my sweet peas. So I'm going to sprinkle some mycorrhiza in the little hole and then pop the seed in there. I don't know what seed this is, from which mix, where it came from. I'm assuming it's one of mine. The seed kind of got stuck in the cotyledon leaves, I think because of the changing temperatures. I'm going to leave this one outside and just see how it does. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here with me in my garden. And I'm very excited for spring. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.